Hi there, welcome to the Happy Chicken Coop YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be discussing chicken poop, everything you need to know about it and understanding it. Before I get into that, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, make sure you subscribe to the website, thehappychickencoop.com. If you subscribe using the link in the description, you'll receive a free ebook on the 10 best egg-laying chicken breeds. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So, it can be alarming if your chickens poop out a blob that looks a tad bit unfamiliar or different than what you're used to seeing. The truth is, chicken poop will differ depending on what they eat, where their feces is coming from, and yes, it often depends on their health. So let's break it down in the ins and outs of chicken feces by starting with the digestive system. So let's talk about the poop and understanding their digestive system. Chickens have an interesting and somewhat confusing digestive system. First off, they don't have teeth, so in order for them to chew their food, they have to eat stones. If that's not strange enough, poo, pee, and eggs all exit through the same single hole. But before I get carried away with that anomaly, let's talk about the digestive system, and then we'll go from there. Number one, your chooks peck at their food, and it travels to the crop, a storage-like stop on the digestive tract where enzymes help begin the digestive process by breaking down the food. The food then moves to the gizzard. This is where the grit comes in handy. This organ grinds up the food along with the stones the chickens have eaten. Once the gizzard has done its job, the food moves through the small intestines where nutrition is absorbed. Unlike humans and many other critters, chickens have an extra organ that branches off in the small intestines, and this is called the ceca. The purpose of the ceca is to catch additional nutrition by fermenting the food further. Food hangs out in the ceca for a while and is expelled a few times a day, which is why your chicken's poo looks different throughout the day. More on that soon. Lastly, the cloaca takes the leftovers and combines them with urates, producing the white part of the dropping. From there, the poop leaves the chicken through the vent. Now that we understand how the chicken's digestive system operates, let's take a closer look at the poo and what variations of it might mean for the health of your chicken. So, let's get into normal chicken poop variations. Number one is regular chicken poop. Regular chicken poop has many different faces, and depending on the temperature outdoors and what this chicken's eaten, the feces' appearance can vary greatly. With that being said, most healthy chicken poop is brownish, greenish, and has the cap of urates we mentioned earlier. Runny chicken poop is not always a reason to be concerned. If the temperature is hot outside, the chicken poo will be much runnier than usual. Second, cecal chicken's poop. Remember how I mentioned that the ceca expel its contents a few times a day? Well, if you notice putting like poo without the white urate cap, you're most likely looking at cecal poop. Don't worry about this type of dropping. It's super duper smelly. It's entirely normal to have an extra punch of stank. All right, and then the third one is broody hen poop. Once you've identified your first bit of broody poop, you'll be able to tell if your hen is broody. Despite what we see outwardly, hens don't want to soil their nest when they are laying on their eggs. To prevent a mess, your hen will hold it in for much longer than she would if she were bombing around the coop. In fact, your broody hen only leaves her nest a few times a day to poo, eat, and drink. So imagine what holding in all that feces does. Yeah, it creates quite a buildup. When your hen finally does relieve herself, she unloads a lot of droppings all at once, and usually it smells pretty horrible. Now let's talk about the abnormal chicken poop. First one is wormy chicken's poop. If you see worms in your chicken's drop-ins or even in the eggs or shells, it's pretty clear you have a parasitic infection. If you suspect that chicken has worms, you can try deworming them with a different variety of methods, but to successfully remove all the worms from your chicken's digestive system, you should try best to identify the type of worm first. If you aren't sure what kind of worms your chicken has, take the droppings to a vet and see what they have to say and how to treat it. Remember, if one chicken has worms, they probably all have them and should be treated accordingly. The second type of abnormal chicken poop is foamy chicken poop. Sometimes, every once in a while, we all have digestive upset. So if you see frothy poo from your favorite hen, don't panic. She may have eaten a lot of protein that day. However, if she continues to have foamy yellow poop, she could have worms or a bacterial infection in her digestive tract. So keep a close eye on her and make sure this passes and it's not just a high protein meal. And the third one is blood in your chicken's poop. Chicken droppings with blood may indicate that your hen has coccidiosis, which is inflammation of the intestinal lining due to bacterial infection. This can be treated if caught early. Bloody chicken poop can also indicate the presence of worms within the digestive system. So once you see it, definitely take it to the vet and try and see what they have to say about it to confirm if it's worms or if it's the bacterial infection. Fourth one, watery chicken droppings. Runny chicken poop can occur in scorching temperatures. It can appear thin and watery. However, if your chicken is explosively defecating and it isn't that hot outside, she may have eaten something she shouldn't have, or she could have worms or an infection. If it's any of these situations, you should separate your hen from the rest of the flock to prevent the infections you might be carrying and to keep an eye on her health. Consult the vet if you're unsure of what has caused the issue, and treat your entire flock as instructed. Now that we all know each other a bit more than we wanted to, we can assess the health of our chickens by observing their feces. And we know that a little variation in your chicken's poop isn't always a cause for concern. That's going to do it for us here at the Happy Chicken Coop. Thanks for listening. If you find our content interesting, if you learned something new, please be sure to like the video and subscribe. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.